Hi, everyone. It's great to see you again. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Bill Benoist, and I'm all about embracing retirement with purpose, passion, and new beginnings. My passion is photography. My purpose is this YouTube channel. My passion is photography. My new beginning is retirement, and I'm really getting into photography. And I've posted a couple of videos on this topic, and they seem to do really well. So I wanted to share with you something that I've been playing with recently, and it's called water and ink, and it really can make some stunning photos, and it's pretty easy to do. So I just wanted to show you the process. I'm by no means an expert in doing any of this kind of work, but it's all about continuous learning. I've talked about that before. So I wanted to show you exactly what I'm doing in the process and going through the setup and even into Lightroom, how I'm making all of this happen. So if you're interested in doing the same thing, I'm going to help you get started. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and you're going to see the setup and the process. Okay, so here's my setup. It's pretty simple. I have a Fuji X-T4. It has a 35 millimeter prime lens. I've got two LED lights aiming at the staging area, and I'm going to film this with my YouTube camera, Sony ZV-E10. The staging area is simple: glass vase, a flower from the garden, some white ink, and I've got this little doohickey that's called a flower frog, and that's going to hold the flower in place when I add the water, so the flower doesn't float up to the top. As far as the camera settings, I am shooting at interval timer, and on a Fuji, that's under the shooting settings. However, this may be under a different menu setting with your camera, but most cameras are going to have this feature. I want to set this at taking 30 shots at 2-second intervals. So essentially, when I hit that shutter, it's going to start taking a picture every 2 seconds for a total of 30 shots. So I'm adding the water right now, and then I'm going to go ahead and start adding the ink. When I start adding the ink, hitting that shutter for the first time. And then after that, I just don't have to worry about it because it's going to take a photo every 2 seconds until it finishes 30 photos, 30 pictures. Okay. So the ink is going down. That the flower frog holds the stem nicely in place. And right now, the camera is shooting at every 2 seconds. I probably should have had the video filming behind the camera, but I wanted it at this angle. I would just explain to you what's going on because I wanted you to see how more like the ink is settling. So I've just hit the shutter again. Now we're going to go another round of taking 30 shots every 2 seconds. And in a moment here, the ink is going to finish settling. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod. And by the way, I should tell you that right now I'm shooting at an ISO 160, shutter 1/10, and a aperture at f11. Now, taking the camera off the tripod, I've made a few changes. ISO is 250. The shutter is 1/50th of a second, and I've dropped the aperture down to 2.0. I'm going to shoot a couple of photos from the top of the vase and then also on the side of the vase, getting close to the flower and bringing it into focus. Although I alluded to taking 2 rounds of 30 photos each, 60 photos, in reality, on this day, I took 240 photos because I also played around with some different colored flowers, one specifically yellow, and some different inks. And I got to tell you, I did not include those in this video because they really didn't come out that well. But you will see them in a moment because I did go through and rate the photos on essentially, what I liked. I just went ahead and rated them, looked at them. Out of 240 photos, I got a total of 7. And of the 7, 3 of them are of the red flower. And I'm not even going to be talking about the yellow flower because, again, as much as I played with them in Lightroom, I just could not get the photos something that I really liked. So anyway, I have rated the photos here, and down at the bottom, there's a total of 7. We're only going to be talking about the first 3. So going to go ahead and bring this one in to the develop mode, and we're going to do some editing. First thing that I want to do is I just want to go ahead and start doing some cropping with it. So we're going to bring it into the portable background. By the way, I got this portable tabletop background from Amazon. It was only about $20. Came with 7 different background, what I would say boards, different colors and stuff like that. So I'm now going to go ahead and level the vase. And now I want to increase the blacks. I want to bring out the black with this. And I'm also going to just do a little bit with the shadows here, bring the shadows a little bit more in, and also increase the whites. So when you're doing this kind of work in Photoshop or Lightroom, I really do believe it's just personal taste on this. I played with the saturation, dropping it down, going back up. In fact, as you're going to see now, I also changed this to black and white, and I wanted to see how it looked in the black and white. So I actually do say one of the black and whites, and you'll see this at the end, wasn't that crazy about it. Then looked at this. So in Lightroom, you have the options there, black and white, and I chose the second option with that. Going to move into the close-up flower now. This is really my favorite one of the bunch. 240 photos, and I got one. That's what I feel. I got one. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on this one. Again, we want to go ahead and do some cropping. And this time we don't even really have the background showing the portable backdrop. With this, I'm going to go ahead and still bring out the blacks with this. And I'm going to increase the whites a little bit and lower the highlights. And I'm also going to play around with the saturation. I ended up with the saturation actually decreasing the saturation. I went back and forth with this. Did I want these really bright, or did I want them a little bit faded there? And I went with a decrease in saturation at the end of the day. Again, it just goes with what I would say personal taste. So you're going to see now the final results of the 3 photos, the black and white, the one in color, and the close-up. And let me know what you think about this. So here we go. Pretty set with this one. And here is the full glass with the colored photos. Here it is with the black and white. And it was just too abstract that I really thought. But this is the one that I really loved. And this to me was the winner. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, I think you're really going to like this one, which is some other creative work, what I'm doing. It's called In the Round.